After exposing C.R.A.S.H, breaking into a government facility and stealing a $60 million jetpack, C.J. Carl Johnson, in the fall of 1992, all but disappeared without a trace. The year is now 2020, and with some of the best private investigators in the world, we aim to find out what really happened to C.J. Carl Johnson. After disappearing in fall 1992 with over $100 million, the disappearance of Carl Johnson remains one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in the world to this day. How did a man with nothing achieve it all and then vanish without a trace? After 5 years on the after 5 months of extensive investigation, our team was able to find 7 pieces of evidence that prove CJ is still out there, leaving hints of his whereabouts. But why? The first sighting of Carl Johnson in over 16 years, now 40 years old, was in 2008. We're located at Firefly Island. There was a billboard advertising Johnson's. And on this billboard, there's what looks to be an image of CJ in his younger days. And according to a former associate of CJ, Carl was always fond of hiding within plain sight. Also in 2008, there was another billboard discovered in Liberty City, but this one was different. Based on the real-life company Fubu, which was founded in 1992, the same year that CJ disappeared, an in-game version of this company was created called Frontalot. You see, when you have that kind of illegal money, over $100 million worth, you have to launder it or you're going to get caught. Perhaps this is how CJ hasn't been caught yet, but this billboard spotted in 2008 is the first time in over 16 years that CJ has shown his face. With a sly grin, now 40 years old, he's telling us that he's still out there. Now what we have next is the most interesting piece of evidence that you will find in this video. In summer 2015, footage surfaced of a man by the name of Young Melee, allegedly claiming to be Carl Johnson from GTA San Andreas, alongside his cousin, Sean Fontino, who is the actor of Franklin in the very popular video game Grand Theft Auto 5. We reached out to Franklin to try and get some info on whether or not this is really CJ and his cousin, but he declined to answer.
Young Melee, man. Y'all know who Young Melee is, man. The world know who this motherfucker is, man. It's the nigga, man. Tell him who you is, nigga.
CJ from San Andreas.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, CJ?
Live and direct. CJ and Franklin up in the...
Whether or not this is really CJ from GTA San Andreas, we may never know without conclusive evidence. Attempts were made to reach out to Young Melee, the man claiming to be CJ. However, records show that there is no record of a Young Melee ever existing. Located in the suburbs outside of Los Santos, we received an anonymous tip of a man who's been tracking CJ's whereabouts since his disappearance in 1992. This man declined to give us any information about his tracking of CJ, However, the only thing he did give us was an image of a book documenting everything that he knows about CJ. And on the cover of this book, we have an image of Carl Johnson, allegedly dated 1996, 4 years after his disappearance. 3 months into our investigation, we received an envelope with no address, no name, nothing. Inside, a set of coordinates. And those coordinates led us to an underpass on the side of the freeway in the middle of nowhere. And after taking a look around, well, that's where we discovered a sequence of numbers written on the side of this highway. After a while, we discovered that this is a secret code, and these numbers are actually a sequence of letters that spell out something. And it's a big acronym. 1 for A, 2 for B, C for 3. And this acronym stands for, all you had to do was follow the damn train, CJ, which, as we know, is one of the most famous quotes in all of Grand Theft Auto history. Well, we thought we were the ones hunting CJ. After a while, it seemed like CJ was the one hunting us. We then traveled to the last known location of Carl Johnson, Grove Street. His former residence is no longer there, torn down in the year 2003. But upon leaving, we saw something very interesting. 3 men on a bicycle, one of those looking eerily like CJ. But after further investigation, this was solely just an imposter. In recent years, scattered all throughout Los Santos, a new company emerged. And this is something that you might not think about, but it was CJ's toothpaste. Remember how I mentioned, well, to have over $100 million, you gotta launder that somehow? Aside from owning a clothing company, it seems like in recent years, CJ has transitioned that company into toothpaste, as this brand has quickly become one of the most famous dental hygiene products in all of the world. But in such a short time, how? How is that possible? Well, with over $100 million, anything is possible. And lastly, a man by the name of Trevor Phillips out of Sandy Shores reached out to us, and he let us know that after riding a dirt bike on top of a train in a mission in Grand Theft Auto 5, he received an achievement in the mail. And this achievement read, "Better than CJ." And the similarities in this mission of riding a dirt bike in a train are the same that have to do with CJ in 1992. After this, 6 months went by before we wrapped up our investigation where nothing else happened. It seems like CJ pops up every few years, lets us know he's still out there, and then disappears. And while we may never know why CJ disappeared, was he forced into hiding? Did he do it to escape the limelight? Or any sort of enemies that may still be out there after him? We may never know. But what we do know is that CJ is out there, and he's watching.